Everyone's heard the same SEO advice. You need a high domain authority before you can outrank those big players.
But after analysing over 156 live SEO campaigns and around 20,000 tracked keywords, that's not what we found.
No, in fact, some of the websites with the weakest authority, blows my mind, consistently outperformed websites with far stronger backlink profile.
So today we're breaking down what actually moves the needle in local SEO and why most businesses are worrying about completely the wrong metric.
Welcome back to the AI in Marketing podcast for local businesses, the show that gives you practical, proven marketing advice to help you grow your business right here in the UK. My name's Adam. I'm a best-selling Amazon published author, AI enthusiast and presenter, and founder of www.websitedesigners.london. We've helped businesses generate tens of millions of pounds online through smarter design and marketing.
My name is Josh. I'm the founder of ImproveMySearchRanking.com, a specialist SEO and AI search agency based in London, three-time winner of the UK Search Awards. And over the past 10 years, we've worked with more than 1,000 businesses, helping them generate well over £200 million in sales.
Amazing. I'm excited for this. Domain authority is not one of the primary metrics. Blows my mind. So where did this all come from, Josh?
So for years and years and years, I've heard people say to local business owners that you'll never outrank Checkatrade, you'll never outrank Trust the Trader, you'll never beat any of the big directories, Yale.com, etc. Your local business, your domain authority, your website's authority is way too low to be able to do so. But after working with well over 1,000 businesses and working in the industry now for 10, 11, 12, 13 years, that's really not matched what I've seen in real life when it comes to local SEO. So instead of relying on this opinion or this kind of myth or potential myth, we decided to analyze the data instead.
That sounds amazing. Now let's talk about stats because, this isn't about looking at 5 different websites or 30 keywords or something. This is a larger scale, right?
Exactly. So we looked at 156 live campaigns that are solely local SEO campaigns, looking at 20,000 keywords, and not any general keyword, but actually transactional keywords that drive business inquiries. So this data set isn't just a very small set. It's based on a large data set, and it's not theory. This is actual real data.
That's brilliant. So I guess the question here is, drum roll, I mean, we've already given it away, but how much does domain authority matter? I guess just talk us through the findings.
Yeah, so the big surprise is that domain authority barely predicted who ranked well on the first page of Google. In fact, the correlation between a high DA score, domain authority score, and page one rankings came out as a minus. So 0.1 minus 0.14 correlation, so a negative correlation. There's no positive correlation between having a higher DA score and ranking at the very top of page one Google.
Now, I just want to say this is extraordinary, right? For years and years and years, it's always been more or less almost half of the impact that allows someone to rank higher on search engines are the number of backlinks, how high, i.e. how high your domain authority is. We're saying that's not true.
Precisely.
That's I'd say it's groundbreaking, really.
It is. I mean, it is nuanced to a degree as well. So we'll get into some of that later. But I suppose one of the biggest fears local businesses have is that they have to compete against these major, huge directories. And they think, me as a new business owner with a domain authority score of 1 out of 100, how am I going to compete with Yale.com, with Checkatrade, etc., etc.? And that, I think we've uncovered, perhaps is a bit of a myth, and we'll explain more.
Well, let's talk about that. So essentially, being able to compete with these huge directories is exactly where we went with this, right? So take the oven cleaning client. So they got around 85 domains that referred to them. Yale has, drum roll please, 92,000. So 85 versus 92,000. So that was Yale, and Yelp has over 1 million referring domains, and yet the campaign for these oven cleaning clients ranks Yelp, as well as Yelp, as well as Trust the Trader, My Builder, and Bark. So the keyword terms that actually generate inquiries is the focus there, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Excuse me. Sorry. The keywords that are generating inquiries, despite the fact our up and cleaning client had less authority than all those mentioned previously, they ranked well above them. And people might think, yeah, how is that possible? And in my opinion, it's because Google isn't simply rewarding the websites with the most authority. Instead, it's rewarding the sites that have the most relevance to that particular keyword in question.
Very interesting. Very interesting. So let's talk about what actually wins on a local SEO, factor. Because if backlinks aren't the deciding factor, typically we say the other 50% are on-site SEO, right? So the kind of technical side of SEO. So let's delve into that. Is that the case? I mean, it's not 50% of it is not like backlinks. Typically, the other 50% is on-site. But what is it for local SEO?
So for local SEO, what we found is the relevance is way more important and is the most important factor in improving your local SEO performance. So if you just think of an example, and if you went to Google and you typed in emergency plumber in Mayfair, the person searching for that doesn't want to see really a directory. I mean, that might be somewhat useful, but really what they want to see as quickly as possible is the best plumber in Mayfair who can handle their emergency situation as quickly as possible. So first things first, the most important thing is relevance.
So let's talk about this. So we've created an excellent page. Imagine we are emergency plumbers in Mayfair. We've created an excellent page specifically about emergency plumbing in Mayfair. So it lists genuine local expertise. So we know a lot about how the pipe work works in property within Mayfair. We showcase good EEAT principles. And for those who are new to SEO, EEAT is a critical acronym. It stands for experience, expertise, authoritativeness, and trustworthiness. So essentially, a real first-hand experience, your deep knowledge, your reputation within the industry, and your the core about your framework. You can build trust by being transparent about providing accurate information, having a good site, trustworthy reviews, etc. So EEAT principles we've talked about, and you're often far more relevant than those generic directory listings when you display those local expertise, those EEAT principles. So I guess the key takeaway here is relevance will beat size, will beat referring domain time and time again.
Exactly. Yeah, so if you land on a Yellow Pages website, it's just nowhere near as useful as landing on an actual plumber's website, has all your accreditations, has that pricing on there, has loads more information. It's just a better result. That's what Google wants to show its customers.
Amazing.
So moving on, another kind of misconception about local SEO is that local business owners think they're mainly competing against national brands, but actually, in reality, our results showcase something else.
Exactly. So they're mostly competing against businesses, well, they're direct competitors, just like themselves. So if we look at a case where we looked at gardening search results that we analyzed, there are about 250 domains appearing, but only 8 of them were actually directories. So the overwhelming majority were other small local businesses with less than 300 backlinks or referring domains.
Exactly. So your biggest competition isn't actually usually Yelp or Checkatrade or these kind of major directories when it comes to local SEO. They're of course, they have strong presence, but they're not the ones showing up in the very top positions in niche markets where people are actually doing SEO properly. So it's not these big brands, it's actually the local competition, the local service businesses doing the same thing as you, who are your main competition.
Okay, so now we're going to give our audience 5 top tips about what you guys listening should focus on for your local business. So take it away, Josh.
Cool. So number 1 is simply to choose your keywords carefully. And this is something we've spoken about on this podcast, I think, on numerous occasions. So I won't go into humongous detail about it, but we don't want to chase impossible national keyword terms that are super generic. Instead, we want to target very specific location plus service keywords. For example, that might be SEO agency in Beckenham. It might be garden design company in Sevenoaks, etc.
Absolutely. So target specific service plus location searches. Number two, create genuinely useful pages. So think about those EEAT principles. Don't just copy your page and then replace the town name with a new town name. Actually make each page valuable. So think about it when if you're the user and you're on this website, and you want some detailed information about the town, the location, you don't want to read the same information about the neighboring town because you're like, well, what's the point of reading this, right? So just think about the value that you'd want to receive if you ask someone a question.
Precisely. Next one's fairly similar actually to the point previous, but focus on the relevance of your website before the backlink profile. So most businesses think about backlinks far too early before they've even established their website as a relevant company in a particular niche. So make sure you've got all the, this is also a wider business thought process really as well. So if you don't have all the accreditations that businesses in your sector have, go out and get those accreditations. If you don't have a pricing framework that you're happy to share with the public, think about that and display it on your website. If you haven't got any case studies, then go and get some case studies. You need to have, this is all, I suppose, not only SEO advice, but just general business advice. You need those accreditations, you need those case studies, you need to be able to showcase the expertise, experience, authority, trustworthiness, just to be a good business, and start thinking about that before you think about your backlinks.
Absolutely. Look, case studies, pricing, that's easy, cheap. Okay. Accreditations, we understand some industry bodies might, need you to invest hundreds or thousands. So we appreciate that might come after you've grown, but there are free local accreditations you could enter kind of competitions, etc. That might be free, but there's no excuse for not having case studies or pricing displayed. Number 4 is expect to rank quicker than you think. So you might be rubbing your hands in glee right now. If you've chosen the right keywords, that is. New websites can rank surprisingly quickly if you choose the right keywords, to Josh's point earlier.
Precisely. And finally, only invest heavily in link building once you've ticked all the boxes we've spoken about already. So really the main key takeaway here is make your business as relevant as possible to the target market that you're pursuing and what to get in front of. Make sure you've got all those accreditations, and if you can, join local trade organizations, trade bodies. Just make your website as helpful and useful as possible. At the end of the day, that's what Google and AI search want to do. These platforms want to provide their customers with the best possible results, so they keep on using that search engine or that LLM. So keep that in mind.
Amazing. So let's quickly summarize those top 5. Number 1, choose your keywords carefully. Number 2, create genuinely useful page. Number 3, focus on relevance before backlinks. Number 4, expect to rank quicker than you think. Number 5, only invest in link building once you've already won the easy battles. That's amazing. So perhaps from a local business, you might have been worrying about the wrong thing about purchasing these backlinks.
Yeah, so you may have been chasing domain authority for years and years and years, but really instead you should be focusing on how you can make your business and website more relevant.
So instead of asking how many backlinks you have, you should be asking yourself,
am I creating the best page on the internet, this particular search query? Does my business's website showcase all the relevant information to help a searcher find the answer to their query and tick all of those EAT boxes?
This has been a super interesting episode. Well, that might be a bit biased by saying that, because this is all based on data, right? This is based on 20,000 keywords, and the answer was remarkably consistent. Businesses that were the largest didn't always win. In fact, it was simply those with the most relevance.
Exactly. So you don't need to beat the directories on domain authority. Instead, you just need to beat them on relevance.
Amazing. Well, thank you for listening. If you've enjoyed this episode, please do tell a friend. Please do give us a 5-star review. It really does help us get found. And also, please do hit the follow, that subscribe button. Again, that really helps us and makes us motivated to give you more of this information. Thank you.